week 3. I already read the chapter, Recovering a Sense of Power. I love this chapter. Like, I was so locked into this chapter when I read it last night. I was so excited to go through this week and the activities in this week because I really connected with a lot of the things that they mentioned. Every single page, I think I highlighted something and I was like, yes, that's gonna be important for me. This week talks about anger. It talks about synchronicity, which synchronicity is something that I've been getting every time I do tarot. I get a card that says synchronicity in it, seriously, every time. And I did a tarot spread last night after not doing it for a while, and guess what card came up? Yeah, the most important part of this week was it talked about shame, which for me, like, shame is the biggest block to my creativity and just to my authenticity, and I know that for a fact for multiple different reasons. But yeah, I just felt so connected to this week, and like, it's all about taking your power back and allowing yourself to grow without like expecting everything to be perfect, and allowing yourself to feel those like emotions that are maybe icky, like anger or frustration, and allow them to motivate you to like change course or move in a different way. One of the things that stuck out to me was they said, if a child has ever been made to feel foolish for believing himself or herself talented, the act of actually finishing a piece of art will be fraught with internal shaming. Many artists begin a piece of work, get well along in it, and then find as they near completion that the work seems mysteriously drained of merit. It's a routine coping device employed to deny pain and ward off vulnerability. And I definitely think that's so true. It's like, not only do I have so much shame like stored in my body, but I feel like I'm afraid of it as well, which is so weird because I feel like at this point I've been feeling it for so long that it's almost like ingrained into me. I know that shame is so connected to my creativity and the way I create, and it's really hard being in this environment where I like developed so much shame for me to try and undo that here. I feel like I have to move forward or move somewhere else external outside of the space so that I can actually like fully recover, but obviously that's not possible just yet. I've already thought of what artist day I want to do. I think I'm gonna go this weekend just because I'll have a ride to go. Because I've been thinking about my childhood dreams of like becoming an actor. I think I'm gonna go to the movies and like watch a new movie that comes out, just because like, I don't know, it's hard for me to picture actually being an actor. And I feel like seeing somebody else act and like be in the zone will be interesting for me, for sure. Maybe I'll like try and envision if I was in that role, what would it look like, you know? During the chapter, she had this like detective work exercise. There's a prompt and then you fill out the rest of the sentence with whatever that is for you. My favorite childhood toy was a Skip It. A Skip It was the thing you put on your ankle and you would like jump and skip, and yeah, it would hurt your shin so bad when you would mess up. My favorite childhood game was the board game Sorry. The best movie I ever saw as a kid was The Parent Trap. I don't do it much, but I enjoy traveling and seeing the world. If I could lighten up a little, I'd let myself not worry about my looks all the time or be so insecure. If I weren't too late, I'd audition for a film, try to learn how to sing, or go to college. Acting keeps coming up in my mind, and I don't know if it's like, it's something I should lean into, but I don't really know how. My favorite instrument is piano. The amount of money I spend on treating myself to entertainment each month is around $40. Like, sometimes I try not to spend any money for like superfluous things, but I would say average around $40. If I weren't so stingy with my artist, I'd buy her a piano, some high quality paint supplies, a membership to a pottery studio, acting classes, a new editing software for my laptop. Like, I have to edit on iMovie and there's so many more things that I want to do with editing, but I feel like the capabilities are just not available to me. Taking time out for myself is something that's important to me. I am afraid that if I start dreaming that I will become someone I've never met and never return to where I've been or the people I know now. I think that's like a real fear that I avoid when I'm thinking about my future and wanting to like move forward so much, is like I don't think about, I avoid addressing the fear that once I go, I know I'm not gonna look back. and like all of this will materialize and disappear forever. Because why would I ever want to come back here? I secretly enjoy reading romance books. If it didn't sound so crazy, I'd write or make a novel. I would write a book. Learning to trust myself is probably what I need to do most in this world. Like, I think all of this comes back around to not trusting myself, which is something that I said in week 1, and I know that's like the most important thing for me to build, is self-trust, trusting myself that I'm able to do things, able to go through hard times and survive it, able to take real risks and see rewards, able to do the work and like see success from my efforts. That's something that is really difficult for me. Those are the exercises that I did so far. I'm honestly now I'm kind of accepting that what I've wanted to do is not going to happen, and not in like a, oh, I can't do it, more so like I'm meant to do something else. Like, I keep trying to move out into my own space, and like I sat with my tarot cards. Like I said, I'm woo-woo-ish. I just learned tarot this year, and last night my tarot gave me something that I have to accept, which was the Hanged Man, which the Hanged Man is all about pausing and reflecting and not being able to move forward and accepting that things are not going to happen in the way that you want. Things are not going to happen moving forward because the universe has something else planned for you. You can't really see what the path is, but you just have to trust it no matter what. And that's really frustrating, and I feel like I keep trying to like fight that, and now I'm just getting to a point where I'm like, okay, I don't think I'm supposed to move forward yet. I don't think I'm supposed to like go out and venture out and take those risks until I understand a little bit more about myself. And this book is helping me do that. So I think everything is happening in due timing. Originally, I didn't want to do this book until I moved out. And then I don't know what it was that made me just say, screw it, like I'll order the book and do it now. Why not? But I'm happy I did. I'm happy I'm doing this. I think this is like a form of self-care that's really important. That was my fortune cookie yesterday. So I'm taking this as a sign. I need to stop trying to move and start trying to understand myself better so that I can move more efficiently. So my nails are so blue. I keep talking with my hands because I like looking at my nails when I'm like, they're so vibrant. Yesterday, I did 2 tasks from my homework for this week. One of them was describe your childhood room. I had fun with this, and like I actually unlocked a part of myself that like really makes sense. The place where I spend the most time. This is my room now. It was a safe haven, but it also wasn't, because I was still deeply like watched by my parents and didn't really have any privacy. But my room was very girly for most of my childhood, and I remember the colors. I remember I had butterflies. I remember my furniture. My favorite part of my room, when I think about it now, was my back window, which is so random, but like it was so quiet. It would face my backyard, and it was so quiet back there, and like I could open my window and take in the fresh air, listen to the sound of like cars driving by on the road, which I'm not able to do here because now I live in an apartment building instead of a house. My door when I was really young did not close all of the way. I don't know if it wasn't on right or if it was the paint was too thick or something, but my door would not close all the way. And so when I would close it, and it would make this like noise when I would close it, and then the same thing when you open it, and it made me so on edge. Like I was always on edge in my room. Are my parents gonna come in? Am I gonna hear that loud noise and be startled? Like I was always on edge waiting for that door to be opened. And even friends like would come over and would be so scared when that door would open. Like it is startling. I'm such a jumpy person now. That has probably something to do with it, I'm sure, because that was for most of my childhood. I was like antsy about that door and that sound. I get scared so easily now. I didn't even think of before I was doing this like piece, but it makes a lot of sense. I said as much time as I spend in my room, I would say out of the course of my life so far, my room has been the place that I've been the most. I feel like that might be true for a lot of people. 90% of my life is spent in this room now, and it still doesn't feel like a safe place. It still doesn't feel like something that I can call my own. And one thing I really look forward to when it comes to like moving out on my own is creating a sacred, safe space where I don't have to feel anxious and on edge all the time. So that was exercise 1. The second exercise was describe yourself in 5 words as a child. I chose funny, intelligent, creative, kind, and social, because I have the capacity to be all of these things in the right environment. And like, I realize that these qualities that stand out for me myself most when I'm not like riddled with shame or guilt or, you know, negativity. It's a little bit later now, and I did 2 of the exercises in the book, so I thought I would go over them. The first one was to list 5 of your childhood accomplishments. I found this really hard to like remember some of the like good things that I've done, but this next exercise that I did, this was like connecting the dots to look at my daily habits and see what are your habits that are really rotten and you know are not good for you, and then also look at habits that are maybe more subtle that aren't really affecting or like majorly affecting your life, but maybe subtly underneath the surface be limiting you in some way from your like creative source. My rotten habits were overeating, staying up late, doom scrolling, and daydreaming. I had 4. It said to do 3, but I had too many. Overeating, like that pertains to my eating disorder. Staying up late, I know I should be getting more sleep, like I know, and I do get tired at night, but it's not until like 1 to 2 a.m. and then I literally just lay in bed and don't fall asleep until 3:30, 4 o'clock every single night. Doom scrolling is so bad lately. I'm like hyper aware of my doom scrolling, and while I'm scrolling I'm like, I should get off, and then I stay on for like 40 more minutes on TikTok, of course. It's really a double-edged sword, trying to go on there and create content while also trying to get away from it and not take in content. Daydreaming, I talked about this on TikTok a little while ago in a video, but I used to maladaptive daydream, which if you don't know what that is, I'm not even gonna tell you. Like, consider yourself lucky. I definitely struggled with it a lot more, and I used to do it day in and day out. Like, if I was alone, like right now, instead of doing this, I would be maladaptive daydreaming all day, and it was so harmful for me. And I don't do that anymore, but it's still like I find myself in my head thinking about those situations and things and daydreaming for extended periods of time, and not in like a helpful way. Like, I do visualize now about my future and what I want for myself, and I think that's helpful, but just daydreaming about random things or very specific things that I used to maladaptive daydream about, I don't think that's helpful at all, and that's really something that I'm trying hard to not do. These are all the rotten habits that I know I should not be doing, but that doesn't make it any easier. Now, when I listed my subtle foes, these are things that I do or don't do that I think are slightly hindering my growth, but not like as much as the rotten habits that I have. Not exercising is probably the main one. Procrastination and avoidance. Biting my tongue. I say this because there's so many times where I feel like I could say something and just say how I feel, get it off my chest, but I hold myself back. All of these subtle foes specifically affect my sense of power. I said all of these subtle foes affect my sense of power. Not exercising is affecting my physical power and to feel strong and confident in my body. Avoidance is affecting my personal power to trust myself. And biting my tongue is affecting my sense of power in my voice and confidence. These are all limits that I place on myself. I don't need to place these on me. If I were to let some of these go and just push myself to exercise, not avoid things right away, and say whatever I want to say, maybe I would feel stronger in my personal sense of identity and safety. The idea that maybe once I stop limiting myself, I can stand in my power, and that will help me understand my identity better, which is week 2. I feel safer in my life and in my body, which is week 1. Kind of all tied together here, and I really started to lock in. There is a version of me 5 years from now that is maybe in a better position than I am. And she only gets there if I start putting in the work now. Just to update on my life, I've had kind of like a revelation just about like my past actions and way that I've chosen to carry myself. And I reflected on my life, and I'm just not proud of the way that I've carried myself over the last 27 years. I realized that I haven't been living with integrity, and so I've been dealing with kind of the repercussions and the emotions of that. And I think I just came to the conclusion that my life is at a standstill now, at this pause, because of karma. Like, I think it's my karma for not, you know, moving with integrity, or maybe not being the best person that I possibly can in certain times where I had the choice. I wrote myself a letter, like, apologizing to other people for the way that I've maybe acted that wasn't the best, and also to myself. And I apologized to myself, but I also forgave myself. And I think I'm at a point now where I'm ready to move forward. Like, now that I know better, I have no choice but to do better. And that includes like moving with integrity and being in alignment with what I really say I believe in. I think I just need to remind myself every day when I wake up, like, you have the opportunity to do better than you have in the past. So like, make that choice. When it comes to the Artist Way project, I really think I'm, I guess, understanding that as finding a sense of power is not so much about like being powerful and being strong and being brave. It's more so about like taking back and the power that you've given of yourself to other people or to your ego. I really feel like I have given my power in my whole life to my shadow self and not to the real me. And now I can start the process of uncovering who I really am, what I really care about, and like how I actually show up in the world. Because I feel like I've always shown up from this place of this shadow, hurt, damaged ego self, that instead of like internalizing it, I would lash it out at other people, and that's not the right thing to do. Yesterday I did the Inner Compass. It tells you to take an hour to do an artist brain activity and like see what insight bubbles up. So I chose to do my paint by numbers. I've had paint by numbers for a while. You'll see in like the other background when I'm in my room, that photo in the background is a paint by numbers that I did. That was the first one I did and I loved it. So I had a bunch of them that I've like consistently done just as a hobby. I noticed that I felt so stressed and worried that I wasn't doing it right, because the paintbrushes that they give you they're not great. And I was like, I'm messing this up, I'm doing this wrong, I'm blah 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 blah. But then I'm like, wait, I actually don't even like this photo that I'm painting. I'm probably gonna paint this picture and throw it out once I finish it. So the end result really does not matter. And I find myself thinking about that all the time. Like, I focus a lot on the end result and not really on the process or like being in the moment of creating. Then I just did an exercise. List 5 people you admire, then list 5 people you secretly admire. What traits do these people have that you can cultivate in your life? Number 1, Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa is just living her best life, and I think she's an example of somebody who is completely in alignment. Like, she has to have an astrologer first of all, but she is someone who is living in alignment with their calling, you know. And I think she's really going after things that are true to her nature. She's authentic, she's enjoying her life to the fullest. And when I think about her, I just think like she's so admirable, and I don't think that she would be the type of person to be jealous of anybody. Like, what would Dua Lipa be jealous of? Next I said Toni Morrison, just because she's an amazing writer, one of the greatest writers in history in my opinion. Her writing makes you think about yourself and life in a different way. She is so unapologetically herself, and I think she's so like unabashed to show her true feelings and say what she really wants to say. I said Olivia Dean was my number 3. I just love her music so much, but again, she's somebody that completely owns herself, and like, she doesn't conform to the status quo, like what all of the other pop singers are doing. She does her own thing. She makes her music she's passionate about, and I think people are just now starting to like recognize that because of how like she has like this familiarity, but also being an individual and being herself. Number 4, I said Tracee Ellis Ross. I love her so much. She is such an inspiration, especially for me as somebody that is choosing to be child free and she never got married. Like, I know she doesn't want to be recognized as that, but I think that is such an inspiration. Not that she's child free or that she's single and unmarried. The fact that she refuses to settle to be a mom or to be a wife. Next, I said number 5 was this content creator. Her name is Kendra Austin. I've been watching her videos for years. I just think she makes a lot of content that is similar to like the type of content that I find myself gravitating to create when I like pick up my phone and make TikToks. But again, she authentic, owns herself. I love the way that she engages with her audience and the types of videos that she makes, pushes her audience to reflect on their lives and themselves. I also just love the way that she loves and appreciates and admires her body. Like, it's such a refreshing outlook on herself and her life that honestly has inspired me to look at myself and like treat my body differently. Now for the people I secretly admire. Number 1, Kendall Jenner. I think she lives a good life, and I think people have so many judgments about her and her family, myself included. But I think like Kendall specifically is somebody that we know little to nothing about as a public, especially me. Like, I know nothing about her other than what I've seen on her Instagram, and she seems to have a good long-term circle of friends, and she just does the things that she enjoys. I really secretly admire somebody who gets criticized a lot for not being talented or not being deserving of the position or the career that they're in and doing it anyway. Like, they just don't care what other people have to say about them. I really admire that. Zendaya. Again, somebody that I feel like as the public we know little to nothing about. One of the things that I admire about her most is the fact that we know nothing about her, and that she seems to have, like, from my perspective, like a separation between her job and her life. Like, she seems like her self-worth is not tied to the things that she creates and the art that she makes. She's extremely talented, but I feel like her off camera, when she's not working, is probably completely different than what we get as an audience when we're watching her in like on the screen. Next, I said Timothée Chalamet and Bradley Cooper. Something in me appreciates a white man's ability to be egoic. They're both bold and honest about their intentions to be the greatest, and whether you think they are great or not, they completely own that, have been super honest and real with that. They strive for big things, and I just admire somebody who can be like, yeah, this is what I want, this is what I'm gonna get. Is Oprah. I don't big up billionaires. All billionaires are evil. The one thing I admire about Oprah is she was able to shatter the glass ceiling and create an entire world for herself and her audience. She outreached her like demographic and touched people all over the world. Everybody knows who Oprah is. She often highlighted like women who are similar to her. She had highlighted other Black women and gave them a platform for their art or their stories to a broader audience than they would normally be able to reach, and I think that's really admirable. Number 5 was really hard for me to think about. The only thing I could think about was wild horses. I just admire animals and the fact that they get to live on earth and they don't pay rent, they don't have a 401k, they don't need health care, they just live, exist, love, create, roam. Like, I find myself jealous of animals a lot for their freedom, and I just wish I could be as free as a wild horse. All of these people and horses have similar things: authenticity, freedom, power, bravery. They all completely own themselves and who they are. They don't try to change or conform to what society expects of them to be. They set the standard for their life, and other people can choose to join them and match it or not. That to me is real power. Like, real power is being able to stand alone if you need to. I still feel a way about like showing up on camera in a bonnet, but honestly, my most popular TikTok is me in a bonnet with no makeup looking like this. So yeah, who cares? People don't care, I don't care then. Okay, I'm just rambling. Goodbye. I'm really disappointed because I'm making this on Friday. I haven't even been on my artist date yet, but I need to film now because I'm not gonna have opportunity to film next week. My schedule, my situation is being disrupted. So next week's video for week 4 is gonna look different, but we're gonna make it work. So I'm filming my check-in now. I did all of the tasks in the book for week 3. The last 2, I didn't really find that interesting. It was about listing people that are dead that you would want to hang out with. I couldn't think of literally anyone, and I said like I would rather just meet new people now, spend years getting to know them, and then we die together and get to know each other in the, you know, wherever we go after this. But overall, this is probably the most like locked in that I've been through this whole process. I loved this week, and it made me think a lot about power and how so many things are connected to our power. I think I realized like there's so much bravery and courage in taking your power back and reclaiming yourself, reclaiming your inner child, which I think is what I'm getting is like the whole synopsis of this book in general, is just reclaiming who you used to be. And this week has made me like excited for the future. Like I said, I know it's gonna get harder. I know it's gonna ask some things of me that maybe I'm reluctant to do, but I feel like just in general in my life, I'm in a better point than I was 3 weeks ago when I started this book. I was really lost and confused, and I think this week specifically, outside of the book, I've become a lot more just like certain and accepting of my current situation. Just the other day, I finally accepted like, okay, I need to move out. It's time to move out. I'm no longer gonna claim that I'm lost or I don't know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing, and now I have to hold myself responsible to follow through with it. I don't know, I just feel different. I feel lighter. I feel more accepting of myself and the situation. I feel more, I don't want to say optimistic, like I kind of feel neutral about it right now because I'm still unaware of like the timing of these things. Like when you're putting yourself out there and taking a big risk like this, half of it is you initiating, but the other half that is out of your control is other people helping you. Like I can't force somebody to give me an apartment. I haven't even gone on my artist date. I will film on my phone and like add it in before this, so you probably already saw I went to the movies. I still don't know what movie I'm gonna see. This disruption to my schedule is kind of stressing me out. I had to just make all of my videos for TikTok for the week today, so I have makeup on and like look super cute. I think I'm just gonna do a check-in for week 4 because I'm not gonna be able to vlog. I'm trying not to get stressed out about it, but you know, yeah. So I think that's it for this video. This is the end of the vlog. It's the end of week 3. I can't believe I've done this for 3 weeks straight. I'm really proud of myself so far, and if you're following along, you're also doing the artist way. Let's go to week 4. Let's keep going. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more of the Artist Way projects. Subscribe to my Substack to read my personal essays that I write every week. Follow me on TikTok because I post every single day. And you can follow me on Instagram if you want. I mean, I kind of post whenever there. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.